So my presentation will have three parts, starting with an attempt of a definition of social and solidarity economy, the link between social and solidarity economy and decent work, and finally a few words about the social economy and South-South cooperation. The social economy and decent work. This is a statement by the European Parliament adopted in the year 2009. The social economy gives prominence to a business model that cannot be characterized either by its size or by its areas of activity, but by its respect for common values. A very simple definition, but I think which reflects many of the observations that we have heard around the table. It's difficult to define the social economy, but it's easy to identify common values and characteristics. Some 6 years ago, we had a conference here in South Africa, in Johannesburg, on the role of the social economy in responding to the financial crisis which affected Africa as well. It was quite a big event. Some 200 people came from all over the continent, workers, employers, government, civil society organizations. And at the end of that conference, they adopted a definition which reads as follows. The social economy is a concept designating enterprises and organizations, in particular cooperatives, mutual benefit societies, associations, foundations, and social enterprises, which have a specific feature of producing goods and services and knowledge, while pursuing both economic and social aims and fostering solidarity. There is by no means a universal definition. There are many, many others around the world. That's the one that the ILO Tripartite Conference adopted in 2009. It provides some hints, but we do not claim it's the only definition that is around the world on the social and solidarity economy. Now I will try to apply that definition by looking at a rather unusual element or experience of the social economy, and that is a website that probably every one of you has used in the past, Wikipedia. Wikipedia, as you might know, is a foundation, so by its nature would be part of the social economy. It consists currently, and every day new articles are being added, currently of 5 million articles in English alone. That would correspond to 2,000 books, 2,000 volumes of books in a traditional dictionary. And at present there are 288 language versions. All of these contributions in Wikipedia have been made by individuals without pay. So does Wikipedia belong to the social economy? It certainly provides primacy of people over capital, yes. It is certainly flexible and innovative. It is based on the principles of solidarity, mutuality, reciprocity and cooperation. Certainly cooperation, because almost all articles in Wikipedia have been produced by several people together, working throughout the globe. It provides certainly social, socio-political and economic benefits. It is based on voluntary participation, member empowerment and commitment. So all these elements would classify Wikipedia as being part of the social and solidarity economy. What it does not have is local identity. It's a global network of production. There's of course a hierarchy, but there's no local contact. Now let us come to social economy and decent work. What do we mean by decent work? The decent work agenda was framed by the ILO in 1999 by the former Director General Mr. Somavia, and has 4 pillars: labor standards, employment creation, the extension of social protection, and social dialogue. And we would like to see how the social economy as a concept is linked to decent work. And secondly, to provide some concrete examples of how that concept has been put into practice. Starting with the standards, the labor standards. First of all, there's a congruence between the objectives of standard setting, which is the furtherance of social justice, and the values of the social economy. I think this is quite obvious. Secondly, the social economy is a subject of standard setting. The ILO has a recommendation 193 on the promotion of cooperatives, and just 2 months ago adopted recommendation 204 on the formalization of the informal economy, which has many references to the social and solidarity economy. But the social economy can also be a promoter of labor standards. And I will provide a few examples on that latter concept. Cooperatives and the fight against child labor in the cocoa industry in West Africa. Their producers' associations of cocoa producers play a central role in eliminating child labor in cocoa growing. And these are dangerous forms of child labor because children are often tasked with spraying chemicals on cocoa trees. Is of course not harmful, not healthy, and may also prevent them from education. In Cameroon, we have seen that village associations have promoted the emancipation of indigenous minorities, in particular the Pygmy population, using social economy approaches and thereby implementing the Convention 169 on indigenous minorities. And here in South Africa, and we will hear much more about it in the afternoon, social enterprises are being strongly promoted by government and social partners in the quest for social justice. And that is reflected in ILO's constitution and the Declaration of Philadelphia, which you might have heard about. That's the first pillar of decent work. The second one is the pillar of employment creation. The concept. Through the social economy, producers and informal economy operators can achieve economies of scale and economies of scope. Economies of scale by combining production factors into one production value, and of scope by diversifying their economic activities. They can foster innovation and creativity simply by working together and exchanging knowledge, experience, ideas. They can facilitate access to markets, to finance, and to inputs they might need. They can diversify and divide labor into different production steps and thereby increasing productivity. Let me give you a few examples of how this happened in concrete terms. In Italy, the social cooperatives, which is a form of cooperatives very particular to Italy, mostly present in the care industry, has created not 40,000 jobs, but rather 250,000 jobs. This is an old version of the slide. The recent figures are that 250,000 jobs are employed through social cooperatives in Italy. In Germany, my country, around over 50% of all small and medium enterprises are part of a cooperative. And these are so-called shared service cooperatives of bakers, of plumbers, of painters, of many, many different professions. And they support 230,000 small businesses with a combined turnover of almost 500 billion euros. It's a massive contribution to the German economy, which would not exist without the social economy. In Oromia, Ethiopia, coffee marketing cooperatives have created 288 or sustaining 288,000 rural livelihoods, coffee growers, and created in addition 2,000 direct jobs in the coffee marketing cooperative enterprises. The third pillar of decent work is social protection. Again, the concept. Social economy could be seen as one of three complementary strategies to implement the social protection floor, a basic level of social protection for everyone. By broadening access to formal social security institutions, something which happens in a number of countries where even informal economy workers and operators are allowed to contribute to formal social security institutions. One can also think of upgrading traditional systems of social assistance, which exist in many countries around the world, into more formal systems, so mutual benefit associations. And of course, using social economy, organization, institutions, enterprises to facilitate cash transfers to their members. Again, a few examples. The so-called tontines, as they call in French-speaking Africa, or rotating savings and credit associations, which exist almost everywhere in the world, mostly on an informal basis, but many of them have a social assistance component as well. In West Africa, you have the so-called Mutuelle de Santé, mutual benefit group, which have formalized the traditional system of mutual assistance. In Southern Africa, in particular in South Africa, you have the burial societies, a sort of micro-insurance for burial, for funerals, very important in the country where we are today. We have in Ethiopia and other countries the expansion of micro-insurance systems for crop insurance in particular, which play an increasingly important role to increase productivity. So this was the third pillar. The fourth pillar of the decent work agenda is social dialogue, traditionally between workers, employers and governments, but in some cases can also include other civil society organizations. First of all, social economy organizations have a double nature. They are associations of people and, of course, enterprises. They can increase the bargaining power, voice and representation through joint action. They have a propensity to establish horizontal networks and vertical structures, working together, different types of organizations working together, or building unions, federations, national associations of social economy organizations. Examples are, for example, the Self-Employed Women's Association of India, SEWA, which has become a hybrid between a trade union and a social economy organization. A very effective institution, well known in India, but also the world over. We had in the ILO a program called Syndicom, which was a partnership between trade unions and cooperative organizations to formalize or to help formalizing informal economy workers through joint trade union cooperative action. Again, quite a successful program, particularly in East Africa. It also operated for some years in South Africa. And then there are global organizations, the International Cooperative Alliance, the World Council of Credit Unions, the International Cooperative and Mutual Insurance Federation, the Association Internationale de Mutualité, the Committee on the Promotion and Advancement of Cooperatives, the International Raiffeisen Organization, and the RIPES, the Interregional Network of Social and Solidarity Economy. All these global organizations promote the idea, the concept of social economy at the global level and at the national level as well. So these are a few words where the conceptual and practical links between social economy and decent work. But the social economy is also a pioneer. It's a pioneer in the area of green jobs and environmental protection. In many European countries, community groups, village associations are promoting renewable energies at the local level. And that would not be possible without a sort of social economy. The social economy is a pioneer in the promotion of fair and equitable trade, because fair trade organizations need to source their products from groups and associations. They cannot source from individuals, it would be far too expensive. They promote the local identity and local products. That has led to a movement starting in Italy and expanding all over the world of slow food, where regional grown biological food is being promoted through, again, social economy organizations. Social finance is basically an expression of social economy. They also play a role in corporate social responsibility. And now we have what I would call a triple triangle. Why the ILO promotes the social economy? Not only because it is mentioned explicitly in our declaration of 2008, which was mentioned by Mr. Wigman this morning, but also because social economy organizations promote at the same time opportunity, protection and empowerment. Economic opportunity to create jobs, protection of people through mutual assistance, and empowerment of individuals and community through joint action. They bring together governments, workers and employers, because all of them have an interest in promoting alternative models of economic activity, and they have an economic, a social and a societal goal. These are the three triangles, I would say, that are relevant to ILO, to decent work, in relation to the social economy. Now a few words about South-South cooperation, which is a relatively new area of work of the ILO, strongly supported by our governing body and by our Director General. South-South cooperation means cooperation between countries of the global South, not necessarily a geographic South, because sometimes these countries may be located in the East, but from the, let's say, political angle. South Africa, our host, is member of the BRICS group, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, which is one of the pioneers in South-South cooperation. We have also South-South and triangular cooperation, meaning the cooperation between countries from the South supported by a country from the North. Today, in our academy here in Johannesburg, some over 50 participants are actually supported by the South-South cooperation program of the ILO, because we feel that the social economy is a particularly interesting aspect of South-South cooperation. The principles of South-South cooperation is a respect for national ownership. It's not a top-down kind of cooperation, it's a cooperation between equals. The non-interference in domestic affairs, the mutual benefit between the two cooperating partners, mutual accountability and transparency, the principles of development effectiveness. It's a multi-stakeholder approach, and of course a cooperation based on solidarity, very much as the social economy is based on solidarity as well. South-South cooperation has a number of objectives, and I do not want to go too much into detail because we have a second presentation. But we have produced a publication with over 40 articles showing the link between social economy and South-South cooperation. And I think that compilation will be distributed here at the Academy for your perusal. the South-South Cooperation Program of the ILO has cooperated with the Social Economy Academy since the year 2013, when we had our third academy in Agadir, Morocco, followed by the 2014 academy in Campinas. And in each of these academies, like the one we have here in Johannesburg, the South-South dimension has been actively integrated. There will be an elective on South-South cooperation on Wednesday and Thursday. And there's also a plenary discussion, I think it's on Wednesday morning, on the linkages between South-South cooperation and social economy. So thank you very much. Roberto will continue the presentation on the link between decent work and social economy.